Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Replay Megaman Battle Network 3. In the last part for the belated 450 sub-special, we had to say goodbye to an old friend and then immediately go find something for a new friend. And now let's give that something to said new friend in hopes that he'll actively take the surgery chance he has. How do you feel?
I'm doing better now, but the doctor said to stay in bed.
Oh. Mamoru, why won't you have surgery?
Surgery won't change anything. I've had surgery lots of times, but nothing's improved.
But the nurse said there's a new kind of surgery for HBD.
So? That doesn't mean I'm going to get any better. I'm just sick of all of this.
Hey, I'm not going to let you just give up. Mamoru, I once had a twin brother. When he was 1, he died from a certain heart condition because he couldn't undergo surgery. Still, he fought his sickness to his last breath. Lan. Mamoru, please try surgery. It's not too late. Even if there's only a 1% chance you'll get better, take it. I can't just stand by and watch the sickness beat you.
The sickness your brother had, was it?
Okay, Lan. I'll have the surgery. I'll fight, for your brother's sake, too. You can beat it, Mamoru. If Lan's brother was alive, I know he'd be very proud of you. Mamoru, sorry if I sounded harsh. Good luck with your surgery. Oh, yeah, here, this is for you.
What? You got me the chip? Thank you. I can't believe this. I'm not going to give up, Lan. I'll fight this illness with everything I've got.
That's the spirit. With that attitude, I know you'll get better. Hey, let me know when your surgery will be, okay? You can beat this, Mamoru. Come on, Lan, we'd better get on home. Yeah, you're right. Alright, Mamoru. See you later. And we're already technically at the end of this in-game day. I think overall this might be the shortest in-game day as long as you only do what the plot requires of you. You could theoretically go do some side stuff now, like chip grinding and all that, but I'm just gonna head on into the bed for right now to move on to the next plot scenario. It's been 3 days since we've heard from Mamoru. I hope he hasn't changed his mind. I'm sure he hasn't. He promised us he'd have the surgery. Yeah, that's true. Maybe we'll hear from him soon. Do I hear plot timing? Lan, you've got mail. Maybe it's Mamoru? No, it's from the hospital. It says, Mamoru's condition has taken a sudden turn for the worse. We'll perform an emergency operation today. Oh no, Lan. What? Come on, Megaman, we have to get to the hospital. Yeah. Oh boy. It's scary, but I really do appreciate Battle Network 2 and 3 in specific having scenes like this here and there just to make it seem a little bit more like there's an actual real life going on here. They're going to operate on Mamoru very shortly. There isn't much time, but please tell him to be brave. Gotcha. I guess we'll go visit him first. At least, based off what that nurse is saying, he's at least conscious. Mamoru! Mamoru! Can you hear me? I'm here with you, so everything's gonna be alright.
I'll be okay. I have your chip of friendship.
Mamoru, we'll take you to the operating room now. Nurse, please, take good care of him. Of course, we'll do our best. Now then, Mamoru, let's go upstairs. You'll be fine, Mamoru. There he goes. Megaman, let's go to the operating room. I want to stay as close to him as possible. Yeah, let's go. I think the room's on the 3rd floor. And this is the first time we actively need to go to the 3rd floor of the hospital for anything, so if you wanted to, you could save the HP memory we got there last time for right now. Looks like the operation has begun. Hang in there, Mamoru. I'm right here with you. 3 hours into the operation. Lan, why don't you take a break? Let's go outside and get some fresh air. No, I should be here for Mamoru. I know, but you need to take a breather. Let's try to stay patient, Lan. I'm sure the operation will be a success. You're right. Alright, let's step outside for a minute. Yeah, always make sure to take breaks whenever you're in situations like this, people. It can be stressful. Down to the lobby. Uh-oh. What was that? The elevator stopped! Oh, I guess we're fine. It's moving again, Lan. What's going on? What in the world happened?
Attention, attention.
Lan, the intercom.
Please remain calm. Mysterious vines have sprouted from the tree of life. Due to the vines, most of the medical devices within the hospital have stopped working.
Stopped working? Mamoru's in the middle of surgery!
Everyone, please evacuate the building at once. Repeat, please evacuate immediately.
Oh no, Lan, we've got to help Mamoru. Let's go. So, my first instinct here is to always use the stairs, but they're locked electronically, so even though the elevator we were on just stopped, we have to take it back upstairs. The vines are here too? What's going on in the operating room? Oh, it's you. Nurse, what's happening in the operating room? The operation room devices are still functioning, but the vines are just about to enter into the room. I'll try to do something about the vines. The Tree of Life's growth system may be malfunctioning. Where is the Tree of Life's growth system? It's underneath this hospital. The elevator can take you directly to the basement. Okay, I'll check it out. It's no use, it won't budge. Of all the times for it to break down. Nurse, the elevator isn't working. Is there any other way to get to the basement? Yes, from outside. There's a door to the basement on the outside. The door next to the elevator is an emergency exit. Go down to the lobby and try to find a way out. The emergency exit. This must be it. What the? It won't open! Lan, it looks like it's electronically locked. I'll go see what I can do. Jack me in. I would say this is probably top 4 most stressful situations for one of these computers to happen during the plot-in. So this is the hospital's computer. It looks strange. Hurry and unlock the emergency exit security lock. Roger. Yeah, like from what we've seen so far in the series on these replays, I'd say like the most stressful one before this was the plane scenario in Battle Number 2, barring of course potential world-ending shenanigans. A digiplank created when the growth system went berserk. It looks like it can be burned away using a strong flame. Huh, interesting. In fact, this might be one of my least favorite mechanics. This is terrible. A sudden outbreak of digiplants has caused the hospital computers to stop working. So I can restart the systems by removing the digiplants. I think so. So you're going to help us by removing them? Yes, if you know how it can be done. The digiplants can be removed using my energy change, I think. It can be used to change battle chips into power. If a fire chip is converted, you can shoot fire, which should burn away the digiplants. To do this, load the energy change into yourself, and then press the A button when on or in front of a digiplant. The energy change will then execute. Changed battle chips will be used up, so please be careful. I'm counting on you. Please, try it out in front of that tree. Thanks. Okay, Lan, let's go. I'll talk about this program in a moment. I really don't like what they do with this. For now, it's time for a new virus. This is going to be a totem. Fire elemental, so takes double damage from water. Its main attack is to breathe fire outwards into 3 pounds in front of it, which if you're on a grass panel or are a grass style change, that will do double damage to you. The thing is, if you hit them with a battle chip or your buster and they survive, they actually flip around and they have a different face. And when they have that face out, they actively start healing. Their battle chip, though, I believe is the exact same thing. It'll just place a totem on the field and it will either breathe fire forward or it'll heal itself and you, I think, by extension. I don't use it a lot, but I guess it has some uses. So, for now, it's time for us to put energy change into our folder. It is a really awkwardly shaped program to work with. And you need it in order to burn down any of the trees and grass you're going to see throughout the rest of the hospital computers. But it does require you to use a matching element chip to what you're trying to burn down. So you need to use a heat element chip here. Which means you need to get heat element chips, which is why I put OilBody into my NaviCust a moment ago. As that way I have a higher chance to run into the fire type enemies around here, get their fire type chips, and use those as ammo instead, because I don't like using up every copy of a chip I have just in case I need it for a program advance or something else down the line. Energy change is probably the worst offender with something I brought up earlier in the LP, specifically with the press program, where the game will give you plot-related programs to use for your NaviCust that you are forced to put in some regard, be it for the press pathways in order to get through the Bubble Man scenario, or burning down the trees here, that just doesn't quite feel comfortable, and it could have just been a key item instead. I think energy change is worse, though, because for one thing, it's a larger program to begin with, and plot-related programs for the NaviCust don't have compression codes. So not only is it a little awkwardly shaped, you're probably going to have to completely retool your NaviCust setup in order to fit it in. And that's probably sort of the point. Because since this is the first game with the NaviCust, and it was supposed to be the last game of the series in a way, as we'll talk about later on in the LP, it was probably their way of going, here's this new mechanic, we're going to force you to have some things to put into it so that you can experiment around with it and retool yourself for the situation at hand. But I think there are better ways of doing that than this. It looks like the control panel for the emergency exit. If we can restore this to normal. Ah, a virus shot out of the control panel. And this is an annoying virus type. This is a Viney. Vinies are wood elemental, as their name would suggest, so they are weak to fire. In fact, a fire attack can kill it out the bat, so if you have certain fire-type Navi chips or other things, you can kill this thing really quickly. Its attack is to send its vine after you. It'll slowly chase you around your side of the arena. If you don't have a fire-type chip or something that can pierce through defenses, like certain program advances, the vine is what you actually need to damage in order to damage the virus. Lan, I fixed the emergency exit system. Let's look for a new way out. Alright. Lan, to which floor? We should probably head to the second floor, because the first floor was blocked by vines still. Anything in Mamoru's room? No, but I see someone over in Yai's former room. Is there no way out from here either? That window's up, but we're on the second floor. Oh no. Oh, I don't like the idea I just had. This window's open. This is the second floor, and the ocean is below. Lan, you can't! Oh, yes, I can. This is an emergency. There's no time to hesitate. Bombs away. Roger. Ah! Oh, we made it to the shore. Megaman, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks to Dad's PET case, I didn't feel a thing. Come on, let's find that entrance to the basement. Right. Weirdly not the only time Lan does that in some form of this series' media. It's locked. Let's get a key from someone. In specific, in the Skullman section of the Battle Network 1 portion of the manga, Lan jumps out of a moving bus. I'm sorry, we have no idea what's going on either. Please, just wait until the officials get here. No, you're not the one I'm looking for. What? The key to the basement? Yes, I do have it, but... Please, I just want to borrow it. I can jack into the growth system from the basement. Yes, but... Okay, I've decided. There's nothing I can do anyway. It's up to you. Stop that tree from causing more damage. You know, trusting 11-year-olds, it works in this plot scenario, but oh, this is not the best idea all the same. Well, there it is. Look at these vines. This is what must be causing all the trouble. Lan, jack me in. Hold on, Mamoru. All right, Megaman. Jack it! The elevator? Wait, the elevator's moving. How? It was just broken a moment ago. I can't seem to find that Tetra code. Where can it be? Hey, you! What are you doing? Hey, just what do you think you're doing? What? I came to root out these vines all over the hospital. You mean these vines that I so carefully grew? You must be a Net Society spy, aren't you? A Net Society spy? What are you talking about? Whatever, just put the stop to these vines.
Okay, right, sure. You think I'm so dumb I'll listen to a Net Society spy? This hospital deserves to be destroyed.
My friend is in the middle of an operation! If these vines don't stop, he could die!
Some sacrifices must be made to preserve Mother Nature. That's what Wily always says.
Wily? So you work for World 3?
That's right, World 3 will destroy the Net Society. It's the only way to preserve nature.
Preserve nature? Yeah, right. Wily's just using you.
Annetta, do not be fooled. Lord Wily warned us. Net Society people are all liars. I know, Plant Man. I won't let this kid fool me.
Wily has her totally brainwashed. Lan, she won't listen to a word we say.
Plant Man, sprout out some more vines, okay? I'm gonna look around some more for the Tetra code.
Stop right there.
The vines are spreading. If you don't stop, Plant Man, your friend will be in trouble.
Megaman, she's right. We have to jack in. Okay. Weirdly, her character is radically different in the anime, though I do ultimately prefer that portrayal of her. We've got to help Mamoru. Hurry and find Plant Man. Roger. So something you'll see me do a couple times through this network chain in general is if I don't have enough fire chips or to burn down nearby trees, I'm just going to run back and forth and grind some totems for them, because I really just dislike energy change as a general concept. It's not great. And you know, that's one thing I will give Battle Network 4 credit for. For all the issues it has structurally, the genuine improvements they made to stuff like the NaviCust was very notable, to the point where anything that would be a NaviCust program you require for plot in that game is made a key item instead, which I think would have been the better way to handle press or energy change, just period. With that said, when we got the tutorial for energy change, they did mention there's stuff you can stand on top of to burn, and that's these grass panels. You're gonna need to burn these in order to find switches to step on to open up laser gates around here. They are in set locations. In fact, anything you burn down is set in any playthrough of this. The things you need to press are beneath the same things every time. The grass panels that have rewards beneath them, like heat shots, are beneath them every time, and I'm going out of my way to get everything that actually has a reward beneath it, because that will either help me recover HP or give me more ammo for other energy changes. Because while some of the things you burn only have like a singular heat shot or something beneath them, some of them have like 2 or 3 copies of a chip, so it's worth doing for that alone. That was a needler, by the way. They don't move much, and their main attacks to fire needles along their row and columns. Not that bad to deal with. Annetta, the Tetra code is hidden in the operating room. Program, I'm heading there now. And don't worry, just do everything I tell you. Plant Man! You must be Megaman. You have sharp, spotless eyes, pure as budding new leaves and bursting with life. You're as flawless as your reputation. Plant Man, stop those vines from spreading! I'm sorry, but I don't have time for you now. I must enter the operating room program and steal the Tetra code. Enter the operating room program? If you do that, Mamoru will. I won't allow it. I'm going to stop you right now. Get him, Mega Man. Young and foolish. You will live longer if you learn to be more relaxed like the giant trees of the forest. Here I come, Plant Man. Very well. Come, my servants, bring me Mega Man's head. Another new virus. This is the returning goofball from BN2, Wood Elemental, so it's weak to fire. They slowly move towards the border between the two sides of the field, and when they hit that, they actually try to be on the same row as you overall. If you're higher up, they'll be higher up. If you're lower down, they'll be lower down. But they release their mask, which then surrounds the panels around it with poison gas. If they miss you the first time, they use an area steal. Where's Plant Man? Looks like he ran away. Lan, let's hurry back to the operating room. Right, jacking out. Goofballs and their evolved version that you can also encounter in the later hospital networks can be annoying, but I think they're easier to deal with in BN3 than they were in BN2. Mamoru! Mamoru! Who's there? How's Mamoru? Is he alright? The surgery equipment suddenly stopped working. The lock on this door won't open. We're stuck inside. If we don't do something soon, Mamoru could die. Is there anything I can do to help? Do you see the control panel on the side of this door?
It's connected to this operating room. If you jack into it and remove the bug, we may be able to continue with the operation.
I'll see what I can do. Plant Man probably did this. Let's hurry, Lan. And now we're into the majority of the hospital network. They kind of break this one up a little weirdly compared to the other ones in this particular entry. Lan, this place is crawling with Digivines too. Plant Man. Megaman, Mamoru's life is depending on us. Hurry. Roger. The hospital computer is also one of the longer ones in the game because I think it's a total of like 5 separate maps compared to the usual 3 or 4. And there are some enemies you can only notably find in numbers 3 through 5, but I'm going to be worrying about grabbing them down the line, barring getting some heat-type chips in order to melt down the trees. So the way the later computers work is that there's going to be Mr. Programs littered throughout the maps that actively give you hints towards where the switches are, because now there's going to be multiple gates in your way at a time. But I know where they are from both prior experience and looking at a map, so their hints are effectively useless to me to the point where I actually don't remember when the last time I did this place without falling into either the category of going full scorched earth and burning everything, or just burning exactly what I needed to. In fact, I think even on my first playthrough, I technically went scorched earth in here. Because something about the wording for their hints just never really clicked with my brain, and that could be the spectrum in me, so to speak, going on, but I don't know, something about the wording here just never really worked with me. Now, it's been long enough since the first 5 parts were uploaded that I actually forget if I went into this particular detail, but a moment ago in the previous hospital computer, maybe it was the first one even, we got the Gut Straight battle chip, and I feel like we may have gotten that elsewhere already, but in the case we didn't, that does have its own command code like with the Gut Punch battle chip. But unlike the Gut Punch, which is just using a Hadouken motion, so a quarter circle towards the right, with Gut Straight is BB down left right B, and instead of firing one punch forward, down a row, it punches the panel in front of Mega Man 3 times. And if you stack that with Attack Plus chips, that can do some good damage. On top of that, it can still break through shields and enemies that technically have super armor, on top of the fact that it can stun enemies pretty easily, so it can leave them pretty open for things like variable swords and elemental sonic booms. Because I think at least one of the 3 Guts Punch type chips, because there's another one above Guts Straight even that we won't see until near endgame, can code well with the variable swords. So that might be a worthwhile strategy if you're into that kind of deal. Now, if memory serves, that was also our first time we got a Geddon 2 chip, whereas Geddon 1 cracks every panel in the field, Geddon 2 turns them all into swamp panels so they can slowly drain the HP from enemies. If you have certain programs for your NaviCust or battle chips in your folder that allow you to float over things like that, or you have another way to break a panel quickly, it's not that bad. There's actually technically a strategy for a late post-game super boss that involves that. I don't like it myself, though, pretty much at all. Also, while you're here, you might as well grab the sub-memory that you can get along the way, because, hey, more sub-chips is always good to have, specifically towards post-game in this game with a lot of full energies. Unlockers are nice to have, but, like, locate enemies and full energies are the big thing you're going to be spending a lot on, especially depending on how good you are at Navi battles. Ooh, some of the post-game stuff in this game gets a little ridiculous with that, honestly. This scenario, though, despite how serious its actual subject matter is, always kind of makes me smile looking back, because it takes me back to a very specific moment from my childhood, because I actually did watch the NT Warrior anime as it aired here in the West, by and large. I missed quite a few weeks here and there, but I watched a lot of it and Access all the same. But I think I still actually do have a VHS, which is a very old-fashioned sentence already, that had one of the Plant Man episodes of Access recorded onto it. Because we still actually had a VHS recorder in our living room while that was particularly airing. We did have a DVD player, but that was more so for the basement when we would watch movies down there after we got that finished back in the day. The VHS was for upstairs, which is where I watched all my Saturday morning cartoons, just about. Also, in this particular battle against a totem in a puffball, I ended up getting their battle chip, the Poison Mask. You throw the Poison Mask forward and it does the same gas effect. I don't like it. There is a program advance it codes into down the line, but we'll cover that when we cover it. There's also one other thing about this particular plot scenario that makes me smile, but it's more so just for who's involved in it. Because, as previously covered on this channel, one of my favorite games of all time is Megaman 6, and Plant Man is another Robot Master to Net-Navi conversion from that, the second in the series overall, after Nightman in 2. There's only one Robot Master from 6 that didn't make it into any of these games. So far, I should probably add, technically, because the Legacy Collection did sell a metric shitload very quickly, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a follow-up to Battle Network and Star Force sooner than later kind of deal, if that makes sense. Not quite a new entry in either series, I'm thinking more like if Battle Network's the classic equivalent and Star Force is the X equivalent, maybe the equivalent to like a 0 for the series kind of deal, where it's the third in the canon timeline placements, maybe. Thinking about it though, going back to the previous topic, it's kind of funny to me that, despite being what's considered the classic of classics amongst the classic series, Mega Man 2 doesn't even have all of its Robot Masters get turned into Net Navis. There's one notable instance that never became one in canon materials. I say in canon materials because it does look like that particular Net Navi might be involved in a certain fan game that's been in development for a good while, but we'll cover that whenever that fully releases. Hopefully it fully releases. I feel like it will at this rate, but we'll see how it goes. I liked that most recent demo, albeit that was now several years ago. I think there was an update to the demo since then, but that's a little bit different, you know? It's not like I added another plot scenario to it. It was more like, hey, we got these fights in now, and it's a little more polished here and there. It's looking good, it's looking good. HP memory right there, nice to grab. I think that was actually one of the last ones I grabbed on my first 100% playthrough because I just forgot to burn that particular bush away. The hospital computer in general does move a lot faster if you just beeline it for the switches or unique items buried beneath patches of grass instead of just repeats of battleships. But I, at the same time, at least appreciate the extra battleships for being there. It's like they're throwing you a bone because energy charge itself is kind of awkward. But it feels like more just putting a band-aid over a gaping hole in the wall rather than actually being a fix for the issue of how energy change is implemented. I should note, if you don't have OilBody, or you don't have it in your Navi customizer, you don't feel like just grinding out enemies for fire elemental chips, what you could theoretically do is just go use the chip trader special on the first floor of the hospital, but that's not the most reliable way of doing that overall. And I should note, you could use any heat elemental battleship for energy change, and it will work, be it any of the heat shot lines, any of the fire swords, and if you have any, heat elemental mega chips will also work. Just be careful you don't want to piss away too many of those, because those can be a lot more useful and are probably harder to get in most instances. On top of the chip class above that, but I don't really think there's a way for you to get one of those that's heat elemental, at least at this point. We're almost home free from this scenario though, and thus almost home free from energy change, for now. It might come back up later in a way I find even more annoying for reasons, but we'll cover that when we reach it. I guess a good strategy maybe to help with Navi customizer optimization for plot scenarios like this that have plot programs is to just always have like 3 or 4 panels, you know, like the bottom left or right near the command line of your NaviCust just for things like that. But at the same time, since you only have so many panels that your Navi customizer command line has, you're going to want to put as many things on that to begin with as you can, and that means you're probably going to need to remove stuff, so Again, later games use the NaviCust a lot more effectively overall. It's almost time for Elect Man though, so make sure you're all saved up and ready to go. And if you're in Elect style, well, I hope you're not in Elect style. You've come at last, Mega Man. I have already obtained the Tetra Code. What Tetra Code? If you don't know, allow me to fill you in. The Tetra Code is the key that will unlock the demise of the net. There are 4 Tetra Codes. When combined, the Beast shall awaken. The Beast? So World 3 was after the Tetra Code all along? Precisely. Enough chit-chat. I have work to attend to. Namely, your deletion, Mega Man. Lan, he's coming. We can handle him. I shall enjoy plucking the petals from the wilting flower that is your life. Let's go, Mega Man. Battle routine set. Execute. Plant Man, treacherous bloom. Plant Man can be a little worrisome that he can actively throw some status ailments at you with 2 of his attacks. Namely, he can spawn in a flower. It can either be yellow or red. They don't have a lot of HP. I think a single sword's usually enough to take them out. The yellow flower will spray pollen around itself that can just outright paralyze you and keep you in place for a time. The red flower does the same, but it confuses you so your controls get all whacked out. Otherwise, attack-wise, if you're in the same row as Plantman, he can fire some needles down the entire row, and he can even pull a page out of the Viner's book and cause a vine to follow you around the area. That's not too bad of an attack to run into because he's open enough during it. As you can see, alongside a lot of other bosses due to his elemental weakness, Elemental Sonic Boom with a variable sword takes him out really quickly. Megaman, so powerful. However, World 3 has already acquired 3 of the Tetra codes. Just one more. Once we get that final Tetra code, the beast, Alpha, will arise. Alpha? Ah! This is the end. Farewell, Megaman. It is time to bloom, bright flower of the cyber world. Alpha? What kind of beast is he? Megaman, hurry! The operating system! Right. Done. Lan, I fixed the system. Now they should be able to continue the operation. Oh no. Megaman, what is it? The operating system isn't functioning properly. It looks like it's out of energy. Nurse! Nurse! The operating room door is unlocked. Yes, but the surgery equipment isn't functioning. Mamoru won't last very much longer. Lan, transfer my energy to the operating system. But if I do that, I can't just sit and watch a kid have to suffer my fate. Here I go. Energy release mode, activate. Megaman! The equipment is working again. Lan. Megaman, you crazy fool! The operating system is working again! It worked. Megaman, jack out. Three hours after the operation resumed, Mamoru's surgery finished. Doctor, Mamoru will be fine, right? The operation would have been flawless if we hadn't had that incident, but now we need to wait for him to wake up. Oh no. Lan, the surgeon did everything he could. We have to just have faith in Mamoru and wait. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure he'll wake up soon. I hope so. 5 hours later. Lan. Megaman. Lan, wake up, wake up! Now's no time to sleep. Mamoru's coming around. Just 5 more minutes. What? Really, Megaman? Really, quick, call the doctor. All right. Nurse! For now, it appears the operation was a success. We'll have to keep him in the hospital for a while to observe him. But if everything goes well, it looks like he can go home. Really? That's great! That's great. That's really great. Hey, Lan, Mamoru's trying to say something. You know, during the surgery, I had a dream. I could hear Lan calling my name. Then I was surrounded by a blue light. There was a boy I'd never seen before in the light. He looked just like Lan. He kept saying, "Don't give up, you can beat this." I see. Lan and Megaman, thank you. You don't need to thank us. Just remember, you promised to net battle me after you got out of here. Yeah, Well, Megaman, now that Mamoru's fine, we should head home.
Right.
All right, Mamoru, we'll come again.
It's been a while.
How dare you contact me directly, human?
I see your despise of mankind has not changed. However, do you remember our little agreement? In exchange for giving you the power to terrorize humans, you will assist me in accomplishing my goal. The time has almost arrived to implement Cybergeddon. I just thought you should know.
So you will awaken Alpha.
Yes, but first I must obtain the final tetracode. I may need to employ your services in the near future. I will contact you again when the time comes. Only one more tetracode remains, but with him at my side. It won't matter anyway. Destruction of the Net Society is nearly at hand.
It's been a week since Dex moved, but when we all get together like this, it still seems like he'll show up. It's hard to believe that he's really gone. If I know Dex, he'll come visit us soon enough. I'm sure he's having a blast in his new town. Yeah, and besides, Netopia is only a few hours away by my private jet. Oh, there you are, Lan. Lan, I've been looking for you. What is it, Miss Mori? Lan, I heard you resolved that World 3 incident at the hospital. They said you'd be receiving a commendation. Me? Commendation? Really? Way to go, Lan. It's not easy to get a commendation. They want to hold an award ceremony for you at SciLab. An award ceremony? At SciLab? Come on, Megaman, let's go. Lan, wait. There's something I want to tell you. Huh? What is it, Miss Mori? When I heard about the award ceremony, I was both happy and frightened. Everything worked out fine, which is wonderful, but if it hadn't... Lan, being awarded is a true honor, and I'm proud of you. But please promise me you won't ever risk your own life. Do you understand what I'm saying? I understand. I'm sorry I made you worry. Okay, so long as you understand. Now then, get on over to the award ceremony. All right, see you later. Wow, we're actually getting recognized for our past 2.5 games of achievement? Damn, took long enough. Before we head on over, though, I'm gonna take that Zenny we got from the previous scenario and just clean out anything Higsby has to offer. Some of these are pretty interesting, like Anubis or the weaker variants of the hidden chips from Battle Network 2's post-game, but not too much to worry about. Also, now in this particular trash can, there's a reg up one that only spawns in this chapter of the plot. Well, hello again. My name is Lan. Thank you for your help the other day. No, I didn't do much. But you did. Thanks to you, I could help a lot of people. Well, I appreciate your thanks then. Do you work here at SciLab? No, I just came by to check some things out. Oh, darn, I thought you might know my father. Do I look like a scientist? Well, Megaman told me that when you worked on the press data, that you had an amazing programming technique. Well, I used to do some programming when I was younger. Nothing fancy, but don't you need to run along? I assume that you had some business here yourself? Oh, that's right, I came to get a commendation. Guess I better get going. Oh, yeah, could you tell me your name? You helped me, but I don't even know what your name is. My name isn't really important. I'm sure we'll meet again. Now, you need to get going. I should note, you actually can't progress until you talk to him there. So, he might be a little plot important in some way. I guess we'll find out down the line. Dad! Oh, Len, you're here. We've all been waiting for you. The man of honor has arrived. Let the ceremony begin. Award recipient Lan Hikari. For outstanding service to our community in saving numerous lives by defending the hospital against World 3's attack. We present you with this commendation and our eternal appreciation. Well done, son. Thank you. We received a phone call from the hospital. The boy who was undergoing surgery during World 3's attack is recovering well. He says he'd like you to pay him a visit. That's great news. Let's stop by the hospital on the way home, Mega Man. Yeah, sounds great. Lan, I'm proud of you. But don't make your father worry, okay? Okay. Ah, come now, Dr. Hikaru. You're lucky to have such a brave boy. Lan, well done. You saved a lot of lives. We're all proud of you. That's true. You're the hero of AC/DC Town. A hero? Wow, I'm a hero. Cool. There you go, again letting it get to your head. The ceremony's over. Let's get over to the hospital. All right already. Well, Dad, I'm going to the Seaside Hospital now. I'll see you later. Okay, be careful. I'm a hero. Methinks he might be letting it go to his head, Mega Man. Did you hear that, Mega Man? I'm the hero of AC/DC Town. Hearing that makes me all pumped up. Bring it on, World 3. The superhero of AC/DC Town is ready for you. I feel like I could take on the world. Lan, if you get too overconfident, you'll wind up getting hurt. Ha! Not me, I'm a pro. I can take on any... Hey, it's that guy! Oh, hey there. I haven't seen you since, well, last game. Match! Who dares address me that way? It's Mr. Match. Oh, it's you. Long time no see, kid. Long time no see? Just what are you up to here? Hey, now just calm down. I left World 3 a long time ago. I'm a model citizen now, man. In fact, I'm gonna have SciLab help me out. What? Help you out? SciLab? Yeah, I'm gonna work there after leaving World 3. I changed my ways big time. I got my act together and determined I would help the world and everyone in it. What? You expect me to buy that? Hey man, don't look at me that way. I am speaking from my heart. Just check out these eyes. The flames of justice burns bright in my pupils. See for yourself. Lan, can you lend us a hand? World 3's back again. They're wreaking havoc in Yoka 2. Match, don't tell me you. You still doubt me. I swear I've got nothing to do with this. Still playing me and hurry up and jack into the net. Lan, Yoka 2 takes priority. Quick, let's go. Something smells fishy to me. You're right though, we've gotta hurry. First off, I do find it kind of funny they gave him the Flames of Justice line, given that eventually became a Fireman line in Powered Up. But also, I know some people don't like the Scottish accent for Match, because that was just a dubism. But that's a dubism that's so silly it wraps back around to being kind of fun as a character trait to me. Especially for a character that's shown up as often in this series as Match has so far. You better be careful, kid. Wander around the internet alone and one of World 3's navies might delete you. How do I know? I'm a World 3 navi. Ha ha ha! Now I'm gonna delete you! Yeah! Got a new virus in this battle. This is a Storm Box. Storm Boxes are a little unique in that they kind of combine wind and fan boxes into one virus. They will alternate between sucking and blowing, which one they start with I think is also technically random. This fight is only like this over here in Battle Network 3 Blue though. In Battle Network 3 White, it's a Yurt, a Hardhead, in a Storm Box rather than what we saw here. Since we are exploring Yoka 2 during this section, though, to find the World 3 Navis, you are going to need Press in your Navi Customizer. I would recommend just removing Energy Change and putting Press right where it was. And for the rest of the scenario, you might as well keep some space in for both of them, just in case. Call it a hunch. This is probably my least favorite scenario in the game, pretty much, period. Counting the next portion of it as part of this, technically, as well. Because the latter, I'd say latter third of Battle Network 3's campaign has a lot of notes that just sour me, despite the story stuff that goes on in them actually being pretty interesting. The next World 3 Navi we're looking for is over by the lower exit to Yoka 1 that led towards the Bug Frag Trader. And this is, I think, probably one of the biggest problems with a lot of the press pathways, because they wind up and down and all around in ways that just feel like they're extending the amount of pathway in an area rather than just being direct one end to the other. Yo, 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 I'm a super evil, nasty, awful World 3 Navi. Ha! Come any closer and you'll get hurt. Oops, too late. Over here in Battle Network 3 Blue, this is 2 Ratty 2s in a Storm Box. Over in Battle Network 3 White, this is 2 Metar 3s in a Storm Box. Lan, I beat the World 3 Navies. Good job, Megaman. You've got mail. It's from Mr. Match. I wonder what he wants. It says, now World 3's terrorizing the beach area. Hurry. All I can do now is direct you, but I'm rooting for you. It looks like Mr. Match really has changed. I hope you're right, Mega Man. Come on, to the beach area. Alright, it's kind of a trek, but, well, we can use shortcuts to get there. I'm using Tamako's once again. Yo, I'm no World 3 Navi. You got a problem, huh? Who do you think you're looking at? You want a piece of me? I mean, I guess, sure. Over here in Battle Network 3 Blue, this fight's against a Metar 3 Gloomer and Metrid. Gloomers are pretty box standard upgrades to boomers. They have more HP, move faster, and their attacks go on a little longer. Metrids are effectively follow-ups to the Meteor Fire enemies from Battle Network 2, where they'll move around randomly in the field and then plop down to fire down their meteors. If there's the option for it, I believe they will tend to hide behind protection while they're doing their attack, but otherwise they're completely open during that, especially if you have an attack charge shot like the bubble-type charge shot that Aqua-type style changes have. Over in Battle Network 3 White, that particular battle is against a Metar 3 Gloomer in Stormbox. That is the only World 3 member in Beach Area 2. The others are all in Beach 1, and I think it's faster to take the top exit of Beach 1 than the lower exit overall. Huh? Who the heck are you? So you're looking for a World 3 Navi. I know where a World 3 Navi is. Closer than you think. Mwahahaha! Over here in 3 Blue, this fight is against a Shaker, Tough Bunny, and Metrid. Over in 3 White, that is against 2 Deedles in a Storm Box. The next World 3 member is over by where we did our Bubbleman re-fights last time. But I should note, very quickly here in the top right, there's going to be a red NPC. That particular Net Navi is who tells you how to find Bubbleman in this area. In specific, they call him a coward, hence why he only fights you if you're at 1/4 or less HP. Ooh, another barrier. I guess I'll take that. I'm in the World 3, la la la. Oh, were you laughing at my song just now? I'll teach you to laugh at World 3. Come here, you! Over in Battle Network 3 Blue, this is a Slimy, a Fishy, and a Metrid. Slimies are just upgraded Slimers. They move faster and have more health. Over in Battle Network 3 White, that is a Slimy, Fishy, and Stormbox. Looks like World 3 is coming out in the open now. Lan, you've got mail from Mr. Match again. It says, now World 3's entered SciLab 1. The officials are having a hard time. My former World 3 instinct tells me they must be up to something. Hurry over here. What could World 3 be up to? Come on, Mega Man, we've got to get to SciLab 1. Roger. Now, while I do like Mr. Match's Scottish accent, I should note, as someone of Scottish descent myself, I am horrific at doing a good Scottish accent. I go back and forth between having moments of, okay, this sounded okay, to, oh god, what was that? Will I stop, though? Not at the current rate. What is it, boy? You know I'm a World 3 Navi, right? I'm pretty darn scary. Just looking at you makes me want to delete you. Here I come! Over here in 3 Blue, we actually have a new particular virus. This is the Yurt. This is the upgraded Yort virus you were talking about before, so they can drop Yo-Yo 2s, which is a pretty good battle chip, although you can't get it here. The usual thing applies. They move up and down their row, and the column, when they get in the same row as you, they fire their Yo-Yo 3 panels forward. The Yo-Yo can be destroyed by things that have certain break element type properties, but you should just kill them before that becomes a problem. Over in Battle Network 3 White, this is a Sortie 2, 3, and Stormbox. I think overall this has the harder fight, but I can see Stormbox as being more annoying for certain folder or style change setups than others, is I think the way I'll phrase that. I'm only the tip of the iceberg. New assassins will be following me. He was pretty tough. I wonder what World 3 was up to. Yeah, these attacks didn't seem well planned. Mega Man, behind you! How dare you delete my buddy? I assure you the 3 of us combined won't fall so easily. In fact, in the condition you're in, you haven't got a chance. Prepare for deletion. Oh no. I can't believe it takes 3 of you to battle a little kid. Well, 3 just isn't what it used to be. Huh? Who's there? Since you asked, allow us to introduce ourselves. We're former World 3 members, Mr. Match and Flame Man. Mr. Match? The World 3 boss that defected? You traitor! Yeah, a traitor? So what if I am? Burn 'em, Flame Man! Fire breath! Roar! Ah! I'm on fire! I'm burning! Ah! Thanks for saving us. I'm Megaman. Nice to meet you. Roar! It looks like you're really on our side, Mr. Match. What? You still doubted me? Do you believe me now? Of course! Your Navi is powerful to beat 3 enemies at once. Well, I am an expert customizer. It's all in the thermal power. Lan, let's go say thanks to Mr. Match in person. Jack me out. You don't have to thank me again. So long as we're friends, I'm happy. Well, I'd better get back to work. Lan, you've got mail. What's this? It doesn't say who it's from. Come to AC/DC Square immediately. I'm in front of the BBS. I wonder who sent this. It may have been sent by mistake, but we ought to go just in case. It sounds urgent. Anonymous mail. Sounds a little shady, but let's go check it out. This is one of the many circumstances in Battle Network 3, by the way, where the fastest way to get from one place to another in its plotline isn't to walk to a new jack-in point or walk across the internet, it's just to jack out and in from the same place. Alright, over by the BBS, so that's on the top right. Who do we got? Are you the one who sent me that mail? Megaman, I presume. Thank you for coming. I watched you at the N1 Grand Prix. You were most impressive. As I suspected, this Navi has amazing potential. I expect he could even handle... Well, why did you call me here? Do you know an individual at SciLab by the name of Match? You mean Mr. Match? Yes, you should be wary of him. He has the scent of danger about him. Sense of danger? That is all I have to tell you. I'm sure we will meet again in the near future. Farewell. Hey, Lan, who was that guy? I have no idea. Whoever he was, he seemed far more suspicious than Mr. Match. Besides, Mr. Match has mended his ways. There's nothing to worry about. Yeah, you're probably right. We've lost a lot of time. Come on, let's go to the hospital. Right. So now we can jack out and head on over there, but I'm going to leave via this exit first so I can have a fade to black transition built into the footage, which if you pay attention, I do a lot. Before we head into the hospital itself, though, there's a new NPC over by where we jumped out from the window. This girl. Ah, you found it. You must have sharp eyes, Lan. Here, take this. And we get spin orange. You can now rotate orange parts on the custom screen. There's not too many orange parts in the game to begin with. Break charge really is one of the most obvious versions of that, but it's nice to have all the spin parts all the same. There's actually another spin parts program we've even technically seen on screen that we can't pick up because it's behind a security cube we don't have the key code for yet. Oh, Lan, you came to see me. Hi, Mamoru. You're looking well. Yep, I've been feeling much better lately. The doctors told me that I'll be able to go home soon. Wow, that's great! It's all thanks to you, Lan. No way, you helped yourself, Mamoru. Thanks, Lan. This is to say thanks for what you did for me. And we get the hospital code. Lan, you saved my life. In fact, it's this very code that we need to open the security cube I was just talking about. Mamoru looked like he was doing really well. Yeah, at this rate he can probably go home soon. We'll have to throw him a party. Visiting a friend. Our hero is busy, I see. Mr. Match, what are you doing here? I have a small favor to ask you. A favor to ask me? What is it? I was told to install a program in the SciLab system, but I'm not exactly sure how to do it. Can you help me? You were given this job to do, right? So shouldn't you do it by yourself? Huh, some hero you are. A man who saves your life asks you a favor and yes your answer. Do it yourself. I see you like being appreciated but not appreciating others. Oh, okay, I'll do it. I'm not going to stand by and let you talk to me that way. I'll help you, but after this, we're even. I knew I could count on you, hero of AC/DC. I'll go make some preparations. Meet me in the virus lab. I'll be waiting. Alright. I get the feeling Mr. Match just played you. What? You expect me to let him get away with saying all that? Let's just hurry to the virus lab and get this over with. Yeah, might as well. A lot of back and forth between SciLab in this scenario already, you might have noticed. But before we do that itself, there's some new jobs we can do. Somebody please help. Dear sirs, a fellow teacher informed me of your board. A certain computer is presently infected by a virus. I seek the aid of a proficient virus buster. I am waiting in the principal's office of AC/DC school. Accept this job? Sure, might as well get these done before we progress in the plot. Technically, you can save you a little more back and forth to wait before doing one of these, but I just like to do them as soon as I can. Hello, Lan. I heard top net battlers may give you help if you use the job BBS, but I'm surprised to see you show up. I'm a little bit embarrassed to ask a student for help, but here's the job. The other day, a virus bomb was sent to the principal's computer, and now there are bombs hidden all over it. They can't be seen, so someone has to go in and check every suspicious place in the computer. Could you jack into the computer and get rid of the bombs? The principal asked me to do it, but I'm just not good enough to find them all. Thank you for your help. Okay, so this one's a little interesting now. There's actually two ways you can complete this particular quest. When we find the bombs in question, they ask you a trivia question. If you answer it correctly, the bomb is disarmed, period. If you answer it incorrectly, you have to fight a virus, then after that, the bomb is also disarmed. Someone attached a virus bomb. The bomb is speckled in blue and yellow. It says, mix me in to make black on the bomb. You see 3 small buttons in white, green, and red. So this is technically a color theory question. We're going to have to press the button of the color that, when mixed with blue and yellow, makes black. Mixing green with blue and yellow just makes more green. Putting white into green just makes a lighter tinted green, so it's going to be red. Shutting down. Beep beep click. And that's one bomb disarmed, but there's still a couple of others littered throughout the principal computer. If you haven't gotten the Ella-Ball 1 battle chip, this isn't a bad opportunity to do so, considering you're here anyway. But at the same time, there might be a time we're back here for plot later down the line anyway, so you can save it for then. On top of the fact, if you don't mind grinding, you can just wait until a grind session. Someone attached a virus bomb. A simple message is written on the bomb. It floats. And underneath are steel, silver, and wooden buttons. This is which would float in water. Wood floats in water, whereas steel and silver do not because they are denser. On average, of course. There's maybe circumstances you could make silver or metal float, but overall, it says immune to multiplication and division on it. And underneath are buttons with the numbers 0, 1, and 7. Well, there's an entire meme about it. Don't divide by 0. And that's all 3 of the virus bombs, so this job's already done. Oh, you got them all. I just knew you could do it. Here, take this as a small reward. And for that, we get Anti-Recovery B. That is largely another battleship that's more meant for multiplayer to prevent another player from healing, but there's some viruses and boss fights that can come in handy in single player. Next up, looking for Condor. Our Condor still hasn't come back. Can someone find it and return it to the zoo? Come to the front of the zoo's parrot hut. I'll fill you in on the details there. Alright, going back to the zoo. It's been a little bit since we were last there. Nice and quick all the same, thankfully, because once again, even though this has a lot more back and forth, how small the areas are in general means the back and forth doesn't feel nearly as bad as it did with like the Netopia stuff in Battle Network 2, or specifically Freeze Man scenario. If anything, they made the real world feel a lot better in Battle Network 3 Beyond, but there's times where the network suffered because of it. At this point in the plot, though, we can finally jack into this particular zoo computer in order to find that Step Sword battle chip. I think there's a virus that's easier to find in here than other ones later on, but we'll worry about that more when it comes to the chip grind from memory. Nice to meet you. You're here for our request, right? We're in a bind. The Condor hasn't come back to the zoo yet. The other animals came right back, but not the Condor. Please help us. Find the Condor and bring it back. I hear that it often sits on the slide at the AC/DC Town Park, but it doesn't like people, so it'll be hard to catch. There was only one person at the zoo who could catch it. He's in the hospital now, though. But maybe you could drop by and talk to him? In specific, the NPC we're looking for is actually in the same room Mamoru's largely been in, so let's head back to the hospital and go take a look at him.
Huh? A condor? Ah, the condor from the zoo. Having trouble catching him, huh? Well, just take this. An old doll? This doll was close by the condor when he hatched. Since then, he thinks it's his mother. Put it where he can see it, and you'll catch him soon.
And you didn't leave this with the zoo and tell them that why? Guess the condor likes coming here. It probably won't come if I'm near. Let's try to come back later. This is a case where you can just leave the area and re-enter, and the condor will be there. And hey, let's take a look at the chip trader, because we got all these heat shots. Wide sword C, not great, but I'll take it. Step sword M, better, can use that for a program advance. Wind, you're losing me here. There's the bird. The condor is lovingly playing with the old doll. Land catches the condor. Okay, let's take this bird back to the zoo. And hopefully it won't kidnap any more younger siblings of people. Oh, thank you. You caught the condor without hurting it. Here you go. This is your reward. And for all that, we get another sub-memory. 2 in 1 part even. I think there's only 1 left, maybe 2. I forget the exact number in this game off the top of my head. But hey, more locate enemies and full energies are going to be nice to have. Time for the final of the 3 jobs. Help with rehab. I'm an official, but I need someone to help me with rehab. You won't be battling me. I just want to watch you battle so I can regain my virus-busting instincts. If you've got the time, come inside the hospital's CV. This is the quest I was talking about, by the way, that is absurdly worth doing out of these 3 particular ones. You're gonna want to do them all anyway, because I think you need to in order to get past a certain place in the post-game area. But doing them along the way can help make your main campaign playthrough all a little bit easier. Right over here. Ah, you came. You're Megaman, right? As my request said, I'm an official, but I've been on break. To learn how to battle again, I first need to observe. I'm going to release a real virus. Fight hard, Megaman. Here we go. So this is going to be 4 virus battles in a row, and they're all going to be new enemies technically, but this is one of the few times where the battles that you're fighting are the same in both versions. In specific, we're going to be fighting 4 battles against singular Omega viruses. Omega viruses, as their name would slightly imply, are the ultimate in any given virus line. Highest strength, highest HP, highest speed of anything in their line. And they can be pretty annoying to deal with, depending on the one in specific, especially with certain folder setups. The Quaker Omega especially can be rough for a first fight here because it moves so quickly that it will very easily stun you with the shakes it does when it lands on the ground. If you're an Elect-type virus, Elect-type style change rather, the Viner Omega here can sap through your HP really quickly. And by the way, it's actually something I forgot to mention about Plantman, I believe. Plantman has an attack that can stun you in place with the vine. And that can leave you pretty open for either the status ailments from the flower attacks, or just getting hit by his little needle attack outright. So watch out for that. I do recommend saving before going into this request, especially if you're newer to the game, because the difficulty spike from like level 2 and some early level 3 viruses to the Omegas can be off-putting in some cases. Thankfully, there's not a lot of occasions we're going to be fighting Omega viruses, but when they do show up, you should be afraid of them, is the way I think I should phrase it. In fact, getting a little ahead of ourselves into something that's technically in next part, but there are some plot battles against Omega viruses that are pretty quick that I completely edited out of the original LP a decade ago at this point, and that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth as an editor and how I like to format my LPs nowadays. That's one of the many reasons I'm redoing all these games. Eleball Omega's probably the easiest of these 4 fights, even as an Aqua style, as the way that those particular viruses move about the room is a lot more predictable to get around, especially if you use, say, an Elemental Sonic Boom. Whereas the Puffball Omega, with how fast it can do damage and move, you really need to make sure you get your damage in quickly with, say, Elemental Sonic Booms. Wow, you fight well. I think maybe even I underestimated you. Here's the reward I promised you. Take it. And we get humor. Take this too. I got it battling a crime organization. I'm sure you'll find it useful. And we finally get the World 3 ID. I don't have time to just sit around. The World 3 ID allows us to open all those skull gates we've seen throughout the game's level design so far, but also just to show up Humor really quickly. Humor is a NaviCust program that when you put it in, changes the interaction dialogue with the L button with Lan or Megaman. I was chatting with a Mashie the other day. You mean that virus that looks like a mushroom? Aren't they dangerous? Normally they are, but he was a pretty fun guy. That joke isn't really spore taste, Megaman. It's usually a lot of puns. I think I can trace my love of them to these games because of that particular program. That becomes a mainstay moving forward in the series. I'll show it off at least once in every LP, but by and large it is just there to be a joke. But I appreciate it all the same. Panic can be an interesting battleship to use if you use it effectively. The way that works is that it creates a flash on the battlefield, and if Mega Man himself is confused, the enemies will then become confused, which can be a little hard to work with, yes. But if you say purposely use Navi customizer bugs to inflict confusion on Mega Man by default, you can just throw that out in every battle, and most enemies, when you confuse them, will just not move, period, so they're completely sitting ducks. Custom Sword we've already seen. Next one is over here in Yoka 1. This is Prism. One last World 3 door we can open for now, and it's over in Beach 2, but I want to reach it by going through the lower path in Beach 1, because now that we have the hospital code, we can open this security cube thanks to Mamoru. And while it does have a teleport, the more important thing is the purple mystery data over here, as this is another NaviCust spin part, and I'd argue it's one of the most important ones that there are, because it's spin pink, and pink is one of the most common Navi customizer colors, period. There's also this portion of the hospital network, which has a blue mystery data for you, which you couldn't reach before. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much for 460 subs. I know I say that as we're closing out on 560. I've actually kind of been throwing around the idea, I don't think I'm going to do this, of just stopping my main LPs until I get caught up on the subscriber specials, but something about that just doesn't seem right in my brain, so I'll just continue thinking that over until I decide to do it or not. Thankfully, since at least the main campaign's entirely recorded for this one, we at least have another 4 videos to go, which will bring us up to about the 510 sub special-ish, but we'll see how it goes as we go. Thank you guys for watching, have a great night, take care, and next time on Let's Replay Mega Man Battle Network 3, I guess we're gonna go talk to Mr. Match and see what he wants us to do. See you guys then.